Hello there, YouTube. Well, it's Monday, January 17th, 2022. I have my buddy with me here today. It's just a cutout of my buddy. It's not my actual physical buddy. But you know, it gets lonely here in the garage, and you know, sometimes this is what you revert to because your friends are too scared to come over because you take things apart and it makes them really nervous. So I just have, you go through your friends on Facebook, just take their picture and stick them to sticks and put them in your shop, and they'll all be there to support you with smiles on their face. You know, and I told you I was going to try to stay positive in 2022. And so this is how I'm trying to do it, because you'll see in this video, this is a really tough video. But before I talk about this particular video, I want to do like I always do, and that is to refresh my thing and see where I am. Yesterday I was at 34, so I had one more subscriber, or whatever day that was. I think it was yesterday. I have one more subscriber, and so I'm going to see where I'm at right now. And I'm at 35 subscribers. So welcome, subscriber number 35. I'm doing something right, or somebody created a bot for me or whatever to make me have subscribers. I don't know what it is, but thank you and welcome to subscriber number 35. And all my other subscribers, I don't have a lot. I mean, hey, you know, I have more. This is a fun fact. I just realized, you know, I started uploading. I actually have more subscribers than I have videos. So that's pretty amazing, right? I think that is. And they're all real. They're real people too. That's what I like. It's not all that fake stuff, and I'm not an influencer. Nobody's paying me to do any of this stuff. No one can pay me enough money to take the grief that I'm dealing with on that. You know, I'm getting really better at condensing the videos. I promise you this video probably will be shorter than the last one. Again, I have a sheet, so I'm going to try to stay on focus. So, you know, even though I'm trying to really try to condense my footage down, I'm trying to stay, every single nut and bolt basically you're going to see me turn. Not every crank, but you're going to see me start and then pull it out, whatever. You're going to see me witness for the first time scratches on my cylinders, yeah? You can see from this list right here, this is the stuff we're going to be covering right here, right? As soon as I removed the heads, my rabbit hole, it just kept going. It just kept going. And I braced myself for it. I really did ahead of time. I braced myself. So, yeah, I'm going to find a scratch on a cylinder wall. Yeah, I am. So, and it's not a good scratch. So, we're going to find that, and we're going to look at it even up close. And there's a second scratch in that same cylinder. And there's another cylinder next to it. It's got, I noticed, you know, recently, it's got a little bit of a scratch as well. I think that one's here is fine, though. It's going to be between the gap, so we're going to be fine there. And then there's tolerances for honing, so I think we're going to be just fine on that one. Yeah, so we're going to be recovering. This is going to be my most expensive video. And I still have a smile on my face because I made a promise. So otherwise I might just, it would be in the crusher, I think. Oh gosh, it's forever and ever and ever. And you're going to see this could happen to anybody. I don't care what it is. I have to treat this engine as if it was from the junkyard. It was sitting here for 14 years. It has not run in 14 years. So I have to treat it as such, as I don't know. So, and I really didn't know because I bought it at an auction before that. So I had no idea of its history. And the only way you're going to find out is by you start cracking it down. So you're going to find a lot going on here, and then even in the next video, you're going to see even more things happen to me. talking about that, if you can help me, I did put a PayPal link down below, but you know, I know that's not an easy thing to do, just to give a guy money for no reason. You know, that would be crazy. So before I continue, like I did in the last video, I want to say I've never taken an engine out of a car. I've never rebuilt an engine before. So in my last video, I realized I kind of made a catchphrase. So, you know, I says, this is how I did it, not how I do it, because I've never done it. Right? So this is my first time. So I want to do that. You know, let's see what else do I have here. You know, all these videos really was intended for myself, but the subscribers and trying to build my channel is really for that other guy who's trying to build one of these. You know, this 560 engine, the M117 is kind of a base for quite a few, but this actual 560, you know, it's got a short span. Even tools are discontinued, and you'll find out. So, let me see. I think that's about it, but you know, if you guys could just share this, you know, on Facebook and all that other stuff, that'll really help someone else to try to find me. It would have been so cool if I would have had somebody help. You know, if I could have found a video like this, I probably would have just sold it as is. You'll see. You'll see how it all happens and how it's all uncovered. As it happened, you're going to see me just deal with it. And some things I didn't even notice until I was actually doing this video. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. Something about a rusty bolt. So, alright, let me go ahead and cut to that so that way, while you guys are watching that, I'm going to get right back in there and try to get that last and final video all done so then we can wrap this whole thing up and see where we really are in this project. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Alright, so we have our upper guide rails off. So now our chain can be fed through the head as we go to pull it. So these are the bolts we need to remove. Alright. Now you have to do this in a sequence. So the manual's there. You can watch me do it here. You're starting from the outside and you start from the back. So you have 18, 17, 16, 15, and so on. So there's going to be 18 of these that we're going to do. Now these ones are for the front cover, basically. It attaches to that front timing cover. And the same thing with that one down there. Can you see it? It's in there. Trust me, there it is down there. And then this one. These are, I believe, M8s. These other ones, however, are M10. So here they go. I'm on the passenger side, or the right-hand side. Here's one. I'm going to just count them, not that this is the order, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now those are 9 M10s. Alright, then you're going to take off, well, this is part of them, so here's your other 9, because this is a total of 18. 1, it's off this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that is 9 on the bottom there, and then 5 plus 4 equals 18. So that is what I've determined are the 18 bolts you're supposed to remove. I tell you, I posted this in the forum, and yeah, it took 2 days. And what I ended up doing is I went to eBay and I looked at heads that had been removed that are for sale, and I just noticed that when they had the cams on there, those were the ones that were not in there. So I would say that's what we're going to do. That's the tightening, so we're going to go in the reverse order of that, and I have this laying on top of the engine exactly the way this is, so I can do it in the reverse order. And these ones that are on the timing cover, you can do those first. And it says number 18 is this one right there. Now, what I did is I took a pick and I cleaned out every single one of these sockets, you know, the hex that I'm going to be going into. 13, so I said that right. Wow! I'll tell you, I don't know why everything's so tight about this car. Does it really have to be that tight? I don't think so. Make sure you're in there. One. Oh man. I don't think that's the proper torque. Let me get something with a little bit of leverage here. I won't be putting it on that tight. There it goes. All right. Okay, smaller ones. And I'm just going to use this and go do the same. You heard that pop, right? I did put WD-40 on all of these the night before. Is that going to make it any easier? Not really. Oh, I wonder if just a wobbler is all I need. Sure seems like that will do it. Yep, 13. Okay. Uh-oh, it's going to strip, guys. What do I do about that? This is the 86. This is what the side they did. Of course, the other side they took off too, I can tell. We're going to have a problem now. Oh, I got it, guys. I got it. That's 12. Man, I feel like I want to just use this one now. 11. I need a pipe. I've got big pipes, but I want a little pipe. I don't know if I can do this or not. Ooh, did you see everything pop? Hopefully that's how it's supposed to work. Alright, so now when we take all these things out, I want to keep them in the right order. Alright, so now I have a box that I made and it's numbered, right, for both sides. Now the one thing is you don't want to drop that one, right? Is there a washer on there too? There sure is, so we got to make sure we get them both, right? Easy, I could almost go through this hole here. Alright, so that's that one. You can see how broken up these things are. But so far this has been my most useful tool. And it's free. Well, cheap. Let me put it that way. It's cheap. They're all loose, so it doesn't matter what order we do it now. By the length of that, I'd say that's the one. I mean, this will help us put it on, but we can't torque it with that. Yeah, you can't really take them out. Not, valve spring compressor will be able to get it out. But you can get them all loose, and those have been loose. These are out, so it should come apart. Well, while I was getting this ready and I was fishing my chain down in there, I grabbed a hold of this and found out that it came off pretty easily. So my head is off. So I just want to have something to set it on because it don't weigh much, I don't think. But I don't know what to expect. So here's that guide. All right, go ahead and fish that through. So there's the head. We'll take a look at it in a minute, but that's it. So that's the... We'll go ahead and pop that off. So you can see this one here is right up to the top. And look at all that oil. That's top dead center, number one. But that's definitely top dead center. Wow. There's no ridge at all. I don't know anything about cars, but let's take a look in the inside of this. Is this how Mercedes does it? Is this an insert? No, that's not an insert, right? Gosh, I couldn't even tell you if anything was leaking on that, to tell you the truth. I would say it's not. There's no discoloration anywhere. So I would say it was not leaking, the actual head gasket itself, so that's a good sign. But there's not really carbon, but you can see, well, get my light here, I have it right here. It's basically wet. There's no ridge at all. I don't, and right now, ooh, that's got a nice gouge in it. Right there. I don't know how I can see it, but you can see some gouging in that cylinder. Oh boy, that even hangs on your fingernail, so it needs to be rebuilt. So hopefully all that can be taken care of, but yep, we're going to tear it all the way down. We're going to go to the end. Alright, so that's that side. Well, we already know we got to take the oiler tube off, so let's start with that. We'll be very careful we don't hurt anything. Alright, there's that tool. Now, our sequence. Okay. Got it. Yes! That one went smoother than the other side. But this thing can pop though. So I might not have it completely loose yet. Because the other side went... Yeah, this thing didn't jump like the other side. The other side jumped. I went from never rebuilding an engine to like complete rebuild. And now I got a hold of it, and by golly, she's gonna be breathing new air again. I mean, I'm gonna spend way too much money on this car. And I don't have the money. I need help, guys. You know, this is like my last hoorah. You know, this is the last thing I'm gonna do in life, probably. There's no way I could do this again. I mean, I don't know how long this is going to take me to complete. So my YouTube subscribers, uh-oh, that one's wet. Okay, well, I don't know if that means anything, but it's wet. Okay, see? All the other ones were dry, but this one. Okay, I've got my partner with me. Gonna hold on to the chain, not that it matters, and we're not gonna touch that one side. Just gonna help guide the chain, and I'm gonna see if I can pop this off, which I grab a hold of here. I think that'll work. Oh yeah, there you go. Alright, so there's that side. I guess I can grab a hold of that, huh? Yep. That's why you don't ever force anything. Man, that thing's heavy. See, this side looks okay. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to set this on the floor. Alright, so first off, all that oil is what I put in there. Okay. Yeah, Jen, that's perfect. So I squirted the cylinders because I did not want any problem because it had been sitting for 14 years. So I squirted the inside of the cylinders. Because you have to turn the engine. So this looks beautiful. Now I can't see that one. This one has, let me take my hand off. It's got like little things, but nothing that catches your hand. It's just nothing. I mean, look, there's no ridge or anything on this. That's very surprising to me that there's not a, I guess there's a little something there. But this is very clean. I wish if the other side was like that, I would just buckle it right up. I would not mess with that. I mean, even the tops of those pistons really are not full of carbon or anything. This one here obviously was burning richer than this one. And this one here I would say is fine. Let's go look at the other side again. We'll look at the heads in a minute. So again, that oil is what I put in there, so I'm not concerned with the oil. So there's that. There is a little bit of a lip this way. So I know that that's normal, but I don't feel that there's anything in there that scrapes or anything like that. See, same thing here. There's nothing here. Sorry, I'm not holding the camera properly because I'm looking at what I'm doing. But this, that is pretty deep. I mean, if it catches your nail, I think you got... Same thing, that one catches your nail too. You've got to bring it. You've got to do something about it. So my plan is to continue tear down. Of course, we still have a water pump to take off. We've got the front timing chain cover. We've got bottom guides, which we're not going to replace until we get, the case is obviously going to be going to the machine shop. Take out the oil pump, and then we'll just figure out all the parts that we're going to need. But yeah, so we're going to continue with the engine teardown. You see that? That's the score I'm talking about. Yeah, it's longer, of course, than our rings, and you can catch it, but I'll check after I get everything all cleaned out about how far. Alright, so now we're going to remove this thermostat housing, or whatever. That's what I'm going to call it. So, we're going to take out these. These are 13 millimeter, one here, and of course this is your mounting point. So we're done with the hoist. Like I said, 13 millimeter. Yeah. Man, I tell you, everything's tight, so tight. I'm going to leave the bolts in when I push it. There we go. That sometimes makes it easier to maneuver it. Remember this bracket? I turned it upside down and then I snugged the bolt up. Okay, so let's see what we got underneath here. Well, whatever this is not where the thermostat is. There is a gasket. So that's what it looks like on the inside. That's what you think it is. It's from... No, it's like a grease. It's like a grease, actually. Sorry, I didn't have to realize that. See that? I thought it was like, you know, when water gets hard. But it's not. It's like a... See that? Completely gone. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. For my own sanity, you notice this is the short bolt with the... It has a washer. This one has a washer. And that one has a washer. Okay, so now the inlet right here is out of the way, so we can get to these bolts in here. That'll allow us to take off this water pump. So we've got two here, one there. So there, and I'm trying to look over my shoulder here. There, and I think that should do it because there's nothing else right there. Alright, so that's what I'm going to take off. It's just 13 millimeter, no certain sequence or anything you have to do. According to my manual, I'm going to just kind of alternate. And actually, you know, I'm going to start on the outside. So, I can't get on that one because of that pin. So, really. I could just barely get on that. That doesn't fit on there. How are you going to get a socket on that, huh? Why is everything so tight? See, I can't get that on there. See, same thing with this. And then how'd they get it on there? Well, tell me there's another special tool I gotta buy. But I feel like I was in better shape at 35. So the answer to this is simple. Just a really cheap 13 millimeter, so it has a really thin wall. And it's enough to clear that, because I can actually fit it on there. That thing's too tight. It's turning, but it's too tight. Are we sure that comes out, guys? The instructions say it do. It broke. Now obviously a lot of these are, or a few of these are different lengths. This is a long one. You notice I never use really impacts or anything when I do these kinds of things. I want to know what the condition is of what it is I'm wrenching on. Some guys, they take an impact to everything. I don't know. I can already hear that it's loose. You know how you can hear it's hollow? There it is. So it's ready. There we are. Alright, so let's take a look at the back of this so we can see what this looks like. You're going to see it before me. Alright, that's what that looks like. So, simple as that. Very simple pump. Whoop. It's a very simple pump. So that's exactly how it goes on, just like that. Everything's still intact, so I'm just going to set this down. Make sure we're going to flip this thing over, which is going to be a lot easier now. But you can see it's pretty light now in comparison. There we go. I thought a little bit of water would come out those jets, and then I thought I'd go back the other way to make sure we have everything out on that side too. Direction, if I remember right. There we go. There we go. We got the water or antifreeze out of the heads, or out of the block now. You know, they tell you to open your drain plugs, but you know, that's another thing I could fail at. So this works just fine. And that's why you put a pan. That pan is for hanging that wallpaper. Just a wallpaper thing. It's very inexpensive. And I just threw a couple of boards underneath there to hold it. So in order to get this off, we're going to have to pull off this sensor. So this is part of the sensor. I bought a new one. This is 8mm hex, or not hex, just 8mm. And you have to take this off because you can't really get to that other 13mm down there too easily. At least I found it to be difficult. So there is a washer. You can swing that off to the side probably at this point. And a washer. They are both the same length. Uh-oh, that just fell down the engine. That's okay, we're tearing everything apart, but I don't even know what that would have been. Uh-oh, one of these things. Okay, so look, I guess there's these things. Alright, so this one was sitting here, so we're going to go get the other one. So now we can get to these three, and then we'll fish that in a minute. When I get this out of the way, I'll get it. Alright, so this is a 13mm. Let's hit this one. Okay, so that's got the little tensioner on there, so we'll end up moving that in a minute. Let's take this one here. Did you hear that? Okay, so that's loose. But yeah, I can't really get in here with this one. So. Impact rated sockets and things don't fit, you know. And I always bought those. I mean, I have a full set of these too. So, but I'm gonna have to remember that. I mean, lesson learned, right? All right, so that's loose. All right, I want to stop right there. There is a washer there. I know that's, you know, that is for the tensioner, but of course we don't want that thing to fall down. And again, you don't want to drop stuff like I already did. Right, so there's that one with the washer. There's a long one. There we go. And again, that's got a washer on it. Now that tensioner is out of the way. I don't know. You can't really pull that away or anything, so I don't see how you can just tilt it forward. If I take this out, can it come out? Okay, so you saw how I did that, just down and then back up. So, I mean, will that give you enough slack? I don't see how. I'm going to remove there's a clip over here, right? Just one of these clips like that holds the back side of this thing. There. I think that was like holding it a little bit. Nope. So, well, that's got to come off. So we got to keep this wheel from spinning because I don't want to turn the crank. So I have to make sure that we do that without turning the engine. So we can do it with an impact. That's one way of doing it. So let me get it clamped back down. I forgot to hit record, but all I did was just place this in here and use this, and it really was not that tight. So once I did that, it was loose. I haven't loosened it any more than just cracked it, and I realized, uh-oh, I wasn't recording that. But So this has a spring washer on the front, which I don't want to drop. There it is. Alright, so now we're going to have to pop that off. That's what it looks like on the front. And you see that hole right there? So, I'm not sure exactly if that sets on a pin behind it or anything like that, because I've never taken one apart. I think, hopefully, you know, it's not going to be that. There we go. Alright. The one thing is, though, I see how it works, but I want to do something first. I know this is going to be silly. A wire tie and just stick it on there. I mean, it probably doesn't, nothing's going to matter. It's not part of timing. So it really doesn't matter. I just gonna do it that way. So there we go. So now our gear is off. And now we should be able to remove these. Finally. Too bad the instructions just didn't start off with that. I watched another guy do it and I remember, you know, he took his off. But again, it's for a different car. You know, I mean, at least I had an idea what it looks like because, you know, it was something that somebody else has already done. Let me back this up a bit. I'm going to put this front thing back on here so I just don't lose it. I'll put the gear back on in a minute. So it's it doesn't matter to me. Alright, so there is our oil pump. Whoop. Gotta remember, I'm on camera. That's your oil pump. And that's where the gear will go. I'll put the gear back on there. I bought one of these already. You know, I see some people say, oh, change your oil pump. So I don't know, really? That could be something, I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, that's the oil pump, and I'm going to set that aside. So those little spacers that were on that oil pump sensor, can you see that? Right, that little spacer? Well, it's aluminum or some alloy because it's not magnetic, so you can't use a magnetic thing to pick it up. You don't want to drop these. You know, why does Mercedes even do that? Why put a spacer in there, and why not just make the part to fit? Why put a spacer in there and give everybody a headache? Of course, if you're doing this upside down, it would have fell off. So I flipped the engine over, and that's what fell out. Well, now that I have everything out, you can actually see guides, but we'll look at them closer. But I just want to point out how this thing is routed. You see there's a gear at the top there. See how that's turning that gear? See that gear? So there's one that goes up there, and then the other one, you see, goes along that rail. Can you see how all that's done? All right, this one, bottom goes, so there's that right in between, like that. All right, let's go look at the other side. But there's your gear in there, just like that, and the same thing. So this one here, so that one there would turn the gear, right? And then, all right, see how that's routed? I don't know if you can. Let's move to this side. All right. Try to get a little closer in there. So you see there's the one that goes up for that one. And then that one on the bottom goes to that gear. And that's what turns your distributor. So all those things got to be in time. We're already getting everything all out of timing. So I wanted to make note. This gear looks pretty good. I'm not sure what I'm looking for exactly. I would think rounding. I don't know what a new gear looks like. They're fairly inexpensive. Maybe I should get one. But they can only go on one way. There's like this little keeper. It's a pin. But beside that pin, it's also, you see how it's cut? So that fits towards the pump itself. And this side fits towards the outside of the pan.